Can you just kind of talk us through the biggest stuff in your mind that you guys did to adjust as the second half went on?
I think the first message to our players was not to panic. If you go back to the touchdowns they scored in the first half, they got a scramble drill on an empty after a first down. We lost eyes on the guy for a second. Okay, that's fine. They had the tempo after a third down where they hid the tight end. Got to see it. Repped it in the week. Still hard to see. Kendall on an eye violation on one because he was fitting the run so aggressively. Everything that was happening to us in the first half that was negative was self-inflicted in our opinion. It wasn't anything that we needed to panic about, and I think we told our guys that. The biggest thing we wanted to adjust was we have to get off the field on third down. We have to put the coverage in our hands. We have to make sure we're challenging people to sticks. Every single touchdown I felt like it was on a third and long that converted, that allowed them to go get a first down, which we're in man coverage. Man coverage is a great call for us right now on third down, very effective. And we can activate Colin Oliver, we can rush the passer, we can do everything we need to do. We can't let that happen, and they knew it. So every adjustment we tried to make there was our kids knew we can cover these guys. We can do what we need to do. We just got to come out and be ourselves in the second half. Now, one adjustment we did make was on early downs. I was a little bit shocked at how I think we stopped the run very well with what they wanted to do. I was a little bit shocked with the amount of times they tried to throw it early, but maybe that's just a result of he felt like he had success and could do those things to us. But the run game wasn't nearly as established as I expected it to be, and we had a game plan of if they're going to run the option, you don't want to activate and blitz Colin Oliver because then you lose another guy standing up that can run after the pitch man, run after the quarterback, stuff he was doing very well in the first half. So second half, we're like, okay, if they're going to line up and try to throw the ball out of this personnel grouping, we are going to activate Colin Oliver and we'll adjust the coverage off of that. And it's stuff that we have in our game plan. It's stuff that we have in our playbook. It's something that was brought to our attention. Coach Clements did a great job getting it communicated down to the linebackers. Now, what I wish we would have done is have a little bit more coverage variations off of it, but it worked out really well for us.
To be able to move Colin to be more of a pass rusher, I mean, obviously he played that position earlier in his career, but I can't imagine that's easy to just tell a guy, okay, listen, you're going to go do this other thing now. I mean, that's a pretty difficult move for a guy, right?
It's very difficult for him, and he's very good at it, and he's natural at it, so we're very blessed to have him. The thing that people don't think about is when you want to do that, that's not, you're taking one peg and putting it on the line of scrimmage. How does that affect the other 10?
Right.
And it's not just hey, if you want to run, send Colin Oliver, but play this coverage. Well, we can't do that. Colin's usually here. How does that affect Nick Martin? How does that slow him down? How does that slow down Kendall Daniels? So that was a lot of the conversations over the headset was who can we send, how can we activate things, and how can we cover down? Because it looks really good drawn on the board. Well, what if they do a formation? What if they motion? What if they line up in unbalanced? We've seen unbalanced more than anybody in the country.
I imagine all those big touchdowns, it could be easy for college kids to get flustered at a time like that. How do you think they were able to keep their heads and lock things down there towards the end of the game?
I think it goes back to what we said last week, being consistent with who we are. I didn't go in the locker room at halftime and scream at them and say, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. I looked right at Kendall Daniels and I said, have better eyes in the run game. That's all it was. And guess what Kendall Daniels did? He had better eyes in the pass game in the second half, and he picked off an interception, which probably set the tone for the rest of the second half for us. Put the guy in his hands, did everything we coached about, makes a heck of a play. If you're consistent with kids, they're resilient. They can do anything you want them to do.
When you think about